So it's been a minute between updates, but I've been grinding away, people. I've been grinding away. So this is probably going to be the last or one of the last ladder updates that I do with this character, because I've pretty much done everything that I want to do, and I'm basically ready to jump back into my online non-ladder characters and continue my Grail hunt. I've done everything I think I need to do for this character, so I'm going to jump in and I'm going to show you basically where we're at with this character at this particular stage. Side note, with a little FYI, for people who are a little bit confused about game mechanics, is when you hit play on an online character without going to the lobby, you don't get a game name, but it's still online. No game name, online character. But that's a side note. The more you learn, people. Now, what I have done so far is I've been grinding away and I've stuck to the game plan of farming a bunch of keys and just selling keys to gear up this particular character, which has worked relatively well. I don't know whether this has been the same for you, but I've found trading this season has been a little bit slow, which probably just is relative to the lack of people with lack of changes. People are moving on. D4's got a pretty good season going, apparently. So there's probably a lot of people jumping over there and people who just were not invested with the no changes. I did have big plans of showcasing this character, do Ubers as an Immortal Necro, which was one of my big underlying ideas and coolly kind of stole my thunder. But if anyone was going to do that, I'm glad it was him. His videos, in my opinion, are probably the most well-produced videos of D2 content creators. So if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. He explains it pretty well, and the gear that he had setting it up is well thought out and achievable. I started compiling that gear so that I could run it. So I have like my G-Face and the Rising Sun and the Spirit Ward shield and crafting like 20 IAS crushing blow gloves, and so kind of gearing up to do that. But my heart is really in my non-ladder online Grail. I really want to get those Grail numbers down. And maybe at some point in a few weeks' time, I'll jump back over to this and finish that off and showcase me actually doing Ubers using that Immortal Necro strategy. So I didn't get around to doing Ubers, but I did get around to fighting Declone using this particular character. For that particular setup, I had a strategy of 2 Strength Blades and a Rattle Cage on a Act 5 Mercenary, so I had about 75% crushing blow on a Mercenary, and he just chopped Declone's health down a little bit, and then I had an edge bow, which I shot to get Prevent Monster Heal, and then just bone speared him to death was the strategy, and that worked quite well. I can show you a clip of that happening right now. Just like that, the Bone Necro does declone. Let's find out what we got. Oh, fuck. Why? Why is it so bad? So that went off kind of without a hitch. It was no real issues with killing Declone with that. Although the Merc did die and I had to come back to town to resurrect him. And when you come back to town, the Prevent Monster Heal changes. So I did have to shoot him with the bow again to get that Prevent Monster Heal again, which is where that, which is where I played that video from. It's from when I had to come back to town to revive the mercenary. All right, so let's have a look at where we got up to. So I ended up... Everything here has basically been traded for 4 keys, which was the plan from the very start. And with that, I did trade for a low Necro Torch. I have an Annie. I have a bunch of Poison and Bone Skillers. I found this 39 Geeds. I still am wearing my White Wand. I have a Shaco with... I punched a hole in it with a Topaz to get some Magic Find. Still wearing the Bone. A Spirit Monarch, which I found this 4-socket Spirit Monarch in Cows. I actually found another one, which I traded for an Umrune, which I think is the... I think the Umrune is what I traded for the Torch, actually. I found this ring because I was lacking in cold resistances, which was one of the resistances I was lacking. So you can see when I take that off, it's a little bit low. With some Magic Find there. I'm still wearing this 30 Nagel. I have these 40 res, faster run walk, Magic Find boots. I've been chasing some Alders boots here because my fire res is awful, which is why I'm got the 40 fire res there, because my fire res is very, very poor. So Alders is actually what I've been chasing because I want that 40 faster run walk also. And in a normal game, I find like 15 billion pairs of Alders. And in this season, I haven't found any. So I don't know how that works, but it is what it is. I'm wearing these gloves here for, once again, the fire res, cold res, and some Magic Find. Some very nice drops that I did have was I found this, which someone has traded recently for 5 jar. So that's nice. But I'm considering keeping this and putting it on my Novasork. I also found this, which I have a sneaking suspicion is probably also a Hyrule. Maybe a Burr? I don't know. I know that 53 can go up to quite a high number, so I'm not really sure where this fits, but it's probably still a Hyrule, I would think. And then on a swap, I have a Nudge's Puzzler, which I had dropped from Shank, I think that one was from. While I've been grinding away, I've also been preparing for my non-ladder online characters. So I've been making a bunch of stuff that I want to take over to non-ladder. Just preparing because I want to have a play with Hustle a little bit more. I think I could use that. So I've made a Hustle in a Great Bow, just so every character class can use it. And for the fast attack frames, I have made a Hustle in a Phase Blade. I also have this, which I'm considering making another Hustle in, because Phase Blades have that high dex requirement, and maybe I'll want to play around with it with someone else. So I'm currently making a bunch of items, just planning to, or already planning for the season end. The mercenary that I have is wearing a Towels, a Treachery, well, that's pretty standard, and I have an Insight in a Hydra Bow, and this has been the bane of my existence. This rolled originally when I rolled it, a level 14 meditation, and I have re-rolled this 4 times since then, and it was like 12, 13, 12, 13. I'm not having a whole lot of luck with this. So I kind of gave up, and it's staying at a 13 for now until I can be bothered re-rolling it again. My skills. So my skill tree is looking like this. I have a level 40 Bone Spear, and that is without... I'm still using this amulet, by the way. That is without any skills here or skills on the rings. It's still got room to grow. It's doing 3,500 damage, and I've maxed out Bone Spirit as well, and I have maxed out Bone Wall. I have 17 into Corpse Explosion. I have 14 into Bone Prison. All remaining points that I get from leveling will max this out, and that will be basically the end of this character. So I've been grinding away. I'm currently level 91. Just have the standard 1 in amp damage here, and I have the 1 point into Clay, Golem, Mastery, Summon, Resist. And I have 1 point going down here just to get to revive, so that when I eventually get to the Ubers, I can revive some of the Maulers, Erders, whichever name they're going by, for the crushing blow so that I can smash down the minor Ubers with ease. And that's basically where I'm at, people. So I have been basically endlessly farming Tower, Nihlathak, and cows. That's basically been exclusively what I have been farming because I don't have Enigma. It's made doing areas that take a while to get to a little bit painful. Nihlathak has actually been the best, so I can go through here and just grab my telly down into Nihlathak down here. Cast my bone armor and stuff. And alright, so we run down here into Nihlathak like this, and Nihlathak is so easy with this build. It's basically just we take down some of them like that, and we do his trick that he does to us. Corpse exploding, and there he is, he's dead. And then I exit and I reset, and I do that over and over and over. And build up keys, and then trade those keys for gear, which has been the plan all season, and it's worked to a point where I have got basically everything that I need for this character to run smoothly. And as a whole, the drops that I've had this season have been pretty unlucky. I've invested a significant amount of hours considering I started this season late to try and catch up. So currently on the ladder as it stands, I am 231 on the ladder of necromancers, and I've found next to nothing and I know I have just been running Tower and Cows and Nihlathak, but really poor drops. Pretty poor in terms of trades, in terms of value as well, which has made it a little bit harder to get gear than I am sort of used to in seasons. So that's basically where I'm at, people. I am, like I said, I'm going to give the ladder a rest for a bit. I may come back, and if I come back, I will show you the Immortal Necro completing Ubers. I have pretty much all of the gear. I just need to grab I think I'm missing a T-Gods and probably Goblin Toes as well. I don't know how I haven't found them. I normally find like 15 pairs of them as well. But in a few weeks' time when I come back, those things will be trading for next to nothing. Anyway, I will showcase that when I come back, or if I come back. But for now, I'm going to jump back over to non-ladder and continue with my Grail farming. Let me know how you guys are going with ladder, if you're still cruising along or whether you've given up for now. I'm interested to know how the ladder economy is going, and that's you guys. So let me know whether you're still around and what builds you're playing. I'm interested with that too. I love to know people's builds, especially if they're doing weird stuff. I love hearing about the weird builds. Anyway, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having fun, and thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.